Hey everybody, it's Jenny McGarvey, and I am here today to share with you how I worked in my Happy Planner for the week of September 19th through 25th. This is the big Happy Planner, so you will see that there's a little bit more room for decorating and events and activities. And as I've said the other weeks that I have shared with you how I created in this one, I am trying this one out for the month of September to see how I like my functional planning in it, if it works better for me than the smaller one. I already know that I'm going to switch to the big planner for 2017 for my memory planning, but I have not decided for my everyday planner, which is unfortunate because I have several small happy planners or regular classic size. But anyway, not the point. I know I'll find something to do with them because I love them and they are so easy to use and so functional. This week I am going to do a lot of stamping and a lot of stenciling, and then also combine that with stickers. So I've shared with you before how I've only done stamping and stenciling, but this week I'm going to include stickers as well and show you how you can make all three things work together just wonderfully for a really varied effect and a really functional outcome. I'm sticking with an orange and turquoise theme this week. So my overall theme was unbelievable, emphasis on the leaf. And because it's still summer in Southern California and it's super hot, going with traditional fall colors just really wasn't going to work for me. So what I decided to do was do the turquoise and the orange, the orange being the traditional fall color, add the little bits of gold and then some leaves and let that be fall. Because to be perfectly honest with you, fall in Southern California doesn't start until like Thanksgiving. So, there's no real overall feeling about that here. And I want my planner to reflect my real life, and I'm sure that you guys do too. And so, for someone that's in the Midwest and you're really thinking about pumpkin and all those things, absolutely. I have not only stamped an event on Monday, I have also started stamping for my meal planning across the bottom. And that is one of the things I absolutely do love about the big planner for my regular planning is that that bottom box gives me tons of room for my to-do lists and for my meal planning. So that's definitely one of those things that I am thrilled about. Now across the top, I'm going to add a couple of stamps for a few things that I want to track. So I'm going to use the little flag, which is super cool. I can add the information I want to track inside that flag. It could be anything that you want to track. How many steps you took, how many pages you read, how many minutes you worked out, how many calories you ate, whatever the case may be. So for me, this is where I'm going to do that type of daily tracking. See how I like it, see how it goes. As far as I'm concerned, each week in my planner is a new way to try something new, see how I like it, tweak it, make it work for me. Now, I like to work from left to right, and so as you can see, I have also moved on to Tuesday, and I am using that little stamp from Sweet Stamp Shop. It is the More Tags set, and I'm really, really liking that set because a lot of them are very, very, I don't know what the word you would use, but for me, they're crisp and they're clean, like with square edges and straight lines. I'm really a big fan of that. And as you can see now, I'm adding some stickers onto Tuesday as well. And that's exactly what I talked about at the beginning about combining all of these things together and making them work. So for example, there's two stickers layered together. But on the other one, on the blue one, I'm going to take that sticker and then add a stamp on top of it. So I'm just taking sort of the best of everything that I have and making them work together. Now, as you can see, when I'm finished with my stamps, I do wipe them off with a baby wipe. And if you've watched before, you know why I do that. But if you're new, I do that for myself because I'm really messy. And what ends up happening is I get excess ink on my fingers, and then that transfers to my pages. And then I'm annoyed by how messy I am. So I clean them off with a gentle wipe with a baby wipe just because I don't want to get ink everywhere. It's totally not necessary. There are plenty of other ways to do it. It's just how I do it, and it's the quickest way for me to not make a gigantic mess. As you can see, I'm using my colored pencils to color in that little flag on that stamp. It just adds a little pop for that particular stamp, and because it's right there and I have these colored pencils. It's not a big deal and not necessary at all because the stamp itself is so fantastic. It doesn't require anything else. As you can see on Wednesday morning, I have stamped that super cute pencil and then just written late start on top of it. In previous weeks, I have used a pencil sticker, and I love my pencil stickers. I'm not going to stop using them anytime in the near future. I just figured it might be fun to change it up with that little pencil stamp this week. Now right here is one of my very favoriteest combinations ever. I love to use those little notebook stickers from Scraptastic Club and then those banner stickers also from Scraptastic Club and layer them together. There is something about the way that like the notebook page is super linear and really graphic and then that banner is kind of fun and whimsical. I don't know what it is about it, but the pairing of the two is just awesome. I'm using a stencil for my to-do list on Wednesday, and then in order to add more, I just used the stencil twice. Yep, it's totally awesome. I love these stencils, also from Scraptastic Club. They are a really thick, durable plastic. They are also sort of translucent, so you can see through them. They're not transparent, but you can definitely see through them. You can see where you're putting them, and they are going to last forever and ever, and I love them and just think they're kind of the greatest thing. They're really super functional. They can be used a million times, and they're not going to get torn up. Now, I am just stamping that little baseball so I can write next to it the event. I like to change up how I notate things just because it keeps my eye moving around the page and it keeps me just looking for new things all of the time. So I don't want to use all of the same things just over and over and over again. And if it works for you, then you should absolutely do it. But for me, it really helps me to keep my eye moving when things look different. Now I just added a couple of more stickers. I used some of the Happy Planner, those leaves. They're beautiful. They have some gold foil on them. They're just gorgeous. And they really accentuate the color choices that I'm using this week. Obviously the orange goes together and then sort of that tan is just really perfect with it. Now I'm going to move on to the second half of the week, and obviously I'm going to stick with the same color scheme and the same idea, which is to get ready for fall. And I'm going to keep stamping and I'm going to keep stickering and let this week really work for me and help me get things done. Now one of my favorites is this block from Sweet Stamp Shop, and it's from the Basic Tab set. And it's big, it's huge. I can write 2 little events, I can write 1 event. It is just really very, very versatile, and it can be used horizontal, it can be used vertical. I really like this one. It's definitely a favorite. So like right here, it's big enough for me to add that little soccer ball icon inside and then write the event. Do I have to do it that way? Nope, I just knew I had plenty of space on Thursday, so I might as well add something that will really make me happy because I like the way that it looks. Now I'm going to take the little notebook stamp from Scraptastic Club and put it in my Friday to-do section because my Friday to-dos are usually a little bit lighter than the rest of the week. I've kind of gotten through my most important to-dos earlier in the week, and so Friday is usually just a few things, if anything at all, to be honest with you. And so I can use this really fun stamp right there, whereas I couldn't probably do it on, say, a Tuesday because I'd have more things than that allows. Now again, I'm using my stencil again for my to-do list, and also just being able to slide it down when I'm finished and add a few extra lines for things that I might need to do, and then go ahead and add my meal planning stamps also. Now the thing that's fun for me about meal planning at the bottom of the page is that I can really tie in the events of that day to choose my meals, and I could do it right there. I find myself to be pretty visual, and so that really helps me a ton. Like I can look at Monday activities and see, okay, this is the type of dinner I need to make, and I can do it right there, and they all just fit together really nicely. Now as you can see, I've moved on to Saturday, and I'm using that block stencil. It gives me that entire area to write things, yet it leaves that little spot open at the top where I can stamp in a super cute icon. And then one of my favorite stamps ever, I don't know why, I guess it's probably because the little balls fit perfectly in that circle, and that just makes me all kinds of happy. It looks like they were just all one stamp, like they were made for each other, and I totally love that. It's super cool. Now I'm still sticking with the orange and the turquoise theme, and so right here I wanted to combine the two colors together. I don't always do that. I often use the black, but this time I definitely just stuck to it and then add another one of those fun boxes over on the Sunday. And what's cool about it is that you've got these boxes, like the one on the Thursday afternoon, the one on the Saturday morning, the one on the Sunday afternoon, and it just keeps your eye ping-ponging across the page, which is exactly what I need it to do because I cannot stay focused on one thing. I have to kind of keep all of the things moving around. When I stamp in my planner or stamp anywhere, 95% of the time I use VersaFine. It is formulated for detailed stamps. It is just wonderful. It's perfect for beginners. So if you're not sure where to start with stamping, I highly recommend VersaFine. It's juicy, it's easy to use, you'll get good results, and you'll feel really happy about it. It will also last you forever. When VersaFine doesn't have the colors that I'm looking for, because they do have a limited range of colors, I use the VersaColor ink pads. They're super inexpensive. They come in a ton of colors. That's enough for me. They work well, so I don't need to go and find others. I do have other ink pads that I use occasionally, but these are the two most often used in my planner stamping, and by far and away VersaFine is my favorite. No other brand comes close. Now, as you can see, I have added a large majority of what I need to add to this page. Now all I'm going to do is kind of finish up because I've gotten the bulk of it finished. I'm going to put the two pages together so that I can look at them together. And sometimes that's what I need to do to tie them together to make them more cohesive. So in order to kind of, so there, for example, the weekend banner, which one can I use that goes with both pages that looks right? You know, that kind of thing. So I don't always have to do it. Just some weeks makes it a little bit easier for me to finish up. Now I'm going to finish the tracking across the top of the right hand side of the week like we had already talked about on the left hand side. And then wipe down my stamp and then grab the other stamp as well. Now that I'm finished with that, I'll clean them off just because, like I mentioned before, that is imperative to my personal success in my planner. And then I'm going to add some more of those really pretty leaves from that Happy Planner Value Pack sticker book. I'm really excited about the way that that turned out on this particular page. They just really look great. And then to sort of mark the first day of fall, I will also use this Hello Fall sticker right there in the corner of those. Again, I'm just really happy with how that turned out, and that's really what kind of the key is here too, is to find elements that make you really happy and that really speak to you and kind of make you excited about planning and about staying organized and those types of things. I'm going to use a couple of really, really old Bella Boulevard tapes to dress up my week. Now that I'm finished, I can do a little tiny bit of decorating. And they're super old and they're just fun. That orange is a really great color, and I'm going to be perfectly honest, I don't have many oranges in my stash. I'm not a big, huge orange fan, so it was just fun to have something a little bit different, and it was also, quite frankly, really fun to use things from my stash, things that I've had for a really long time. That always makes me super happy. Now I'm going to use these Sweet Stamp Shop stamps just to add a little bit of fun, and that is it. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching my video. I really do hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave me a thumbs up. It lets me know that you liked the video, and it also lets YouTube know the types of things that you like to see. If you have any questions, please leave them below in the comment section. I would be more than happy to try to answer them for you. Thank you so much, and make it a great day.